My very first shoe that helped take off my YouTube career path are Doc Martens. I unfortunately don't have that pair anymore, and the only Docs I have are the Carlson Mules. Nonetheless, the popularity of the shoe grew, and I never really understood why Doc Martens are so popular. I just accepted it. So today, I'm diving deep into the history of Doc Martens, why they're popular, and more. The initial idea was started by Flaus Martens, who was a doctor in the German army of World War II. After injuring his ankle skiing in 1945, he found that his army boots were too uncomfortable for his injured foot. Desperate for a better solution, he designed improvements with soft leather and air-padded soles made of tires. And with 2 years of no success, it wasn't until he met with old-time university friend Herbert Funk that they went into business together using the same idea, but using discarded rubber shaped by molds, which ended up being a big hit to housewives, with the 80% of sales in the first decade to women over the age of 40. After gaining popularity and wanting to market to a more international crowd, British shoe manufacturer R. Griggs Group bought patent rights to manufacture the shoes in the UK, forming the company we know today, Dr. Martens. They eventually recreated the heel for a better fit and the infamous yellow stitching. In fact, the first ever Dr. Marten footwear are what we know today, the 1460s, while a year later, the innovative 3-eyelet shoe 1461s were made. Fun fact, if you're wondering the distinction between NPS, aka Solivere, and Doc Martens, Solivere actually manufactured Doc Marten boots in the UK, and after production was taken overseas, Solivere retained the original machinery and craftsmanship to make shoes under their name, known for their high quality standards. Now, the 5 monumental moments of the shoe were obviously the 1960s of the creation of the 1460 boot, targeting factory and postal workers, showcasing the symbol of reliability and innovation. Secondly, in 1970s to the 1980s, British youth subcultures including skinheads, punks, and grunge enthusiasts adopted Doc Martens as a self-expression. Thirdly, you obviously have music endorsements from iconic musicians at the time like The Who's Pete Townshend, as well as The Clash and Nirvana, which were more iconic in the rock and punk culture. And fourth of all, it wasn't until the 1990s where Doc Martens' revival was due to the grunge movement with artists like Kurt Cobain. And lastly, in the early 2000s, Dr. Martens rebranded by focusing on heritage, limited edition collaborations with designers like Marc Jacobs and brands like, as you guys may know, Supreme, attracting younger, fashion-forward audiences, as well as bigger designer brands like Rick Owens and Raf Simons. And with the rise of YouTube influencers and TikTok, the recycle repeats itself, incorporating the shoes into modern day styling, which leads me to the next topic, styling. There are multiple ways of styling the shoes depending on what your type of aesthetic is. But if you're into what I like, which is more of street, casual, and minimal wear, then this is how I see it being styled. The overall shoe is chunky, so you'll be rocking a more wider silhouette for the pants. So you're looking at borderline slim all the way up to baggy. Typically, a lot of the top part of fits can vary from tucked in and oversized boxy shirts. I'm a fan of both. It's the elevated minimal look that I really appreciate, and these shoes can offer that in versatile ways. In all honesty, despite being into grunge punkcore, I think this brand is meant for those who are looking to get an affordable, modern, dressy looking shoe. I definitely feel like these shoes are meant for anyone on their styling journey, to the ones who are starting off, as well as the more stylish individuals who just, want a relatively cheap, affordable shoe. And knowing that you have loafers, boots, and derbies, and the recent collection of mules, it offers a wide range of silhouettes. And just like every other brand, it's not a perfect shoe. So it does have its pros and cons. Starting with the pros, first things first is affordability. Pricing is around $100 to $200. Second is longevity. With the shoes being made of Goodyear welted shoes, it makes it a great long-term investment. And third of all is the timeless style. You know, for a brand to last 60 plus years and people are still wearing it, really attests to its timeliness and can be worn in any era. Now for the cons. First one, and the most notable one, is the break-in period. There are definitely break-in periods, so it'll cause blisters and discomfort, so be careful and do not wear no-show socks. And secondly is sizing challenges. With the shoe only offering whole sizes, it's hard to find the perfect size, so you either have to size down and wait for the leather to stretch, or get that extra gap of space in your shoe. And sometimes, depending on what model you get, the sizes vary. And lastly is the uncomfortableness of the shoe. And what I mean by that, in all honesty, the shoes are a bit heavy. When I initially had my 1461s and Adrian Loafers, it took some time getting used to the weight, especially with the break-in periods. And when I did get used to the shoes, there was a period of time when it got uncomfortable. So things never really got consistently comfortable, just bearable. With Dr. Martens getting popular, I think it's important to be a bit more intentional about the products you buy. I love doing these videos because it allows me to, one, educate others, and secondly, educate myself on the importance of brands. And knowing what I know now about Dr. Martens, I still believe the shoes are timeless and considered a modern day affordable footwear. What do you think of Dr. Martens? Are they worth it? Any fun, memorable break-in period stories? Let me know in the comments below.